Hi, I'm Louise, and today I'm going to be talking about my thoughts about The Fall Guy. So I just left the theater like an hour ago, and normally I plan these out, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to share my thoughts, and we'll see what happens. I don't really know anything about the TV show. I did just Google the theme song. It's very catchy and may or may not be in the movie at some point. Overall, this movie was really fun. Especially as someone who's worked in film, a lot of the jokes are very film centric. Like even the beginning credits, the very first graphic that you see is a call sheet, which is basically the way that you tell people the schedule and like what you have planned for the day. And as someone who works on the producing side of production, I'm very familiar with the call sheet. So anyway, that was just really funny that it started off with that. You can tell that these people like movies. Obviously, they work in movies. So the director, David Leitch, I've only ever seen two of his other movies, Deadpool 2 and Bullet Train. I think that this is my favorite of his movies that I've seen. I think, started off as a stunt coordinator and has gotten into directing. Because a lot of what stunt coordinators do, honestly, is they direct the stunt scenes. That's a big part of what they're doing, and they're making sure that everybody's safe. And you get to see that in the movie. Winston Duke plays the stunt coordinator, and it's so fun to see his relationship with Ryan Gosling's character. And so it's fun to see the director basically write himself into the movie. He's also, I imagine, a stuntman too. So he's been on that side of things as well. I love Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt's chemistry. I have not seen Emily Blunt in a comedy for a long time, but her part in The Devil Wears Prada is one of the funniest things in the world. So it's fun to see her back in this more humorous sensibility, because the last movie I think I saw her in was Oppenheimer, so it was fun to see her doing something a little more silly. And Ryan Gosling is Ryan Gosling, he's just very charismatic, very funny, as you would expect. And the humor in this movie, really, it feels well planned. Like there's a lot of setups to a lot of these jokes, and it's well executed, which is really important for jokes like that. I don't know. It's not reinventing the wheel or anything. The story is not doing anything crazy, but it just feels so happy. Like it just seems like everybody on the set was having a great time working on it. Like even the end credits, spoilers, I guess, show some behind the scenes of the film and the setups of the stunts they were doing, which was really cool. And I hope more movies that are big on stunts do that kind of thing. And I think that's really fun. Basically, the premise is they're filming this movie that is set in the future, I'm assuming. It's supposed to be a sci-fi western, and it takes place in Australia. It feels like the movie they're making is a mix of like Dune, because every time they cut to like a real scene from the movie, you hear the Dune yelling audio cue, like the cry that's in the soundtrack a lot, which I thought was hilarious. It was similar. It wasn't exactly the same. And then it was also set in Australia, which feels a lot like Mad Max to me, even though, and I guess in Mad Max they have like crazy cars and stuff, which is fun because the new Furiosa movie comes out pretty soon here. Stunt people are really cool. And it was fun to just see them get so much love in this movie. Like, you can just tell how much they care about these stunt people. And just filmmaking in general. I just felt very happy about making movies. And making movies is really hard. It takes a lot of work. It can be really difficult. So it's fun to see such a joyous movie about filmmaking. I happen to think making movies is like one of the coolest things ever. It's fun and it's exciting, And it's kind of a miracle that any movie comes together. It takes so many people to get it to come together. And I feel like this movie was such a fun way of showing that it really does take a village. Like, I'm going to get into some spoiler territory here. So skip to here if you don't want me to talk about spoilers. But at the end of the film, the stunt people are kind of all banding together to catch somebody. Maybe I'll be a little more vague. Somebody that's trying to get away that they don't want to get away, that the audience also does not want to get away. And they all team up together to help Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt's characters do what they need to do. And I don't know, just seeing that collaboration is really fun in a movie like this. And it makes me miss being on set a little bit. It was an interesting audience. I do want to talk about who was in the audience. It was like families, a bunch of elderly couples, and then like me and my husband. And this was an IMAX, so I'm just generalizing based on like who was near us. I'm used to going to movies where it's like all people my age, like young people. Like I just saw Abigail with my husband, and it was all people our age or like a little bit younger, so probably like early 20s to 30s ish. And then it's fun to go see stuff like Godzilla X Kong was this way as well, where it's like there are all kinds of ages here coming to see this movie. It's just fun, and I think anybody could enjoy it. I don't think you have to have worked in film to enjoy it. There's so much to laugh at that's not film specific, and of course they're going to get it right because it's filmmakers making movies about film making. I feel like they do a pretty good job of it versus something like they're making a movie about being a lawyer or a journalist or a doctor, where you're like, they may not have the experience to understand this, but in this case, for sure, they do. And it's made by stunt people, so they're going to know about stunts. Yeah, it was fun. Just joyous and happy and silly and funny. It's totally worth watching in the theater, in my opinion. We had a really fun audience for the most part. I don't know. I feel like I was laughing a lot more than everybody else, but that's not unusual for me. There's also a good dog. I love any movie that has a dog in it doing funny things. Yeah, but overall, I'd say this was a really fun watch. It was worth seeing in IMAX. It was fun seeing those really crazy and really fun stunts. Apparently, one of the car rolls that's featured pretty early on in the film is the world record of how many car rolls are in a movie, and it's 8.5, I think, is what I was told. 8.5 car rolls, half being it landed on the top of, like, it landed on the roof. That's what is considered a half, I guess. So anyway, I'd recommend seeing it if it interests you at all. I had a great time. I could tell that the people around me were having a good time. Everybody was laughing. It seemed, I don't know who it wouldn't appeal to. If you don't like action and humor, then it won't be for you. Yeah, and that's the Fall Guy. Thank you so much for watching. I love getting to talk about movies, and I love hearing what you guys think. Have any of you guys seen The Fall Guy? What did you think? Would you recommend it? Also, May is like slammed for good movies, so I'll probably do a few more of these this month. I'm excited to see Planet of the Apes and Furiosa. And then, honestly, those are my two big movies for the next little while, so we'll see. We'll see what else I watch. Anyway, thank you so much for watching.